another game coming in as we look already. Draft changing up a bit. They decided the Batrider put too much pressure on their short lane, as kind of expected, because you can't leave your Sven alone. Like, while VP was able to just leave the Juggernaut alone because it's a Juggernaut, he doesn't really struggle too much versus anything. He just spins. Like, he's kind of just fine on his own. So I think that's what they thought was more of the pressure that put on them. So now we're gonna have like a little bit of switch up back to the EU qualifiers. You know, the Ogre first pick, and then the other team responds with Shadow Demon Luna. Yeah, the most standardized pickup, and it's just. Honestly, I favor Shadow Demon over Ogre in almost any situation. I would always pick the Shadow Demon rather than the Ogre.
Why?
It's just the overall skill set and what it's good against. Like, the hero is a natural counter against so many things that are in the meta, and it's always good. You know, Ogre's also always good because he's not the natural counter to anything, but his skill set is just so very good. And of course, as we talked about earlier, his regen and armor.
Yeah.
But Shadow Demon, you know, you have Disruption, one of the more obvious things that are really good for saving. But then you also have Demonic Purge, something we saw put to great use yesterday by Adfinim. Even managed to get the Aghanim Scepter, allowing him to have more when they were up against DK and Luna. And it's just it makes it incredibly hard for the carry player to do anything and position himself well in fights. And that in itself, that a support can all-out counter your carry position at any point in time in the game with that one spell, for me, puts him ahead of every other support hero.
Didn't you mention Queen of Pain?
I did, but not for Team NP, especially not considering their ping disadvantage. Giannis and I were talking about how no one might pick up this Queen of Pain because he's been known, him and General, before General switched to the offlane, were both two outstanding CIS players on the Queen of Pain. And Giannis was like, no one's going to pick that hero because it's useless. And he's sitting with this face of amazement right now where he's like, okay, they lost.
Is there a small chance that Virtus Pro, who have Lil, or not Virtus Pro, we're the wrong team? No, this is a core Queen of Pain. We've seen Queen of Pain support in a very, very few games.
Yeah, but that's even worse.
That's worse.
That's the last thing you want to do.
They're going real fast.
Playing Queen of Pain as well, when you're playing with like 200 ping, versus someone who's playing with 60 ping, that's probably one of the hardest heroes to actually have a successful time on, because your spells have, every single spell has a pretty awful cast point.
Yeah, you're playing against some of the best players in the world. You have bad cast point, there's a long cast animation. Even on Blink, there's still like this whole load up and everything. So it isn't as instant as your brain want you to be.
Yeah,
and it's like if I don't know, man.
It's not even like a last pick Queen of Pain. It's a first too, so they can set up all the disable in the world for him.
Yeah, but an instant pickup on Slardar was still on the pool.
I don't think they're even concerned about it, honestly. The hero isn't strong enough to justify that you need to go out and pick a lion.
Oh yeah, but not a lion, just like one stun basically, like is.
Yeah, they got the Slardar.
And
they got the Chen now as well.
This I don't like though. I think this Chen is, and for the same reason that we talked about earlier, I think Elder Titan in itself is one of the hardest counters to Chen. Just because all of his skills are so good against the creeps. Because of the natural order, the armor goes down on the creeps and they die even faster than they normally would, which is already very, very fast. And then he has two spells that deal so much damage to them or stuns them very easily.
But at the same time, too, it's like Elder Titans, especially that we see now, go that 4-4 build for the most part or something. And also, Chen dictates a faster pace of the game. So your Elder Titan isn't able to do that. And Chen's a natural mech carrier, so he gives the plus armor, which kind of counters Elder Titan in a way.
But trust me, you think on paper that Chen is fine against the Elder Titan, but it becomes real difficult to deal with as soon as you pass the 20-minute mark. And then, you know, add to the fact that there's a Queen of Pain with heavy AoE as well that might just clear up the creeps. On top of now a Beastmaster with I think it's going to be a hard Chen game, but then again, we also sort of expected Virtus Pro to be the dominant team with the upper hand in this particular matchup. And I do think they're going to succeed with it in any case. Also because it complements the rest of the lineup extremely well.
Yeah. And we haven't even gotten really a chance to talk about the bans, but NP looking like they're afraid of the Mirana SD combo, of course. The DK, they don't want to get pushed down, kind of obvious, because that's just what VP's been favoring a lot. They actually they don't even always pick it with Chen. They just pick DK for no one a lot because he just really likes the hero right now. Instant lockdown is always lovely. Queen of Pain suffers from that a lot. VP's bans, on the other hand, they ban out the LC, which clears illusions really hardcore. Maybe that's why they picked the Queen of Pain very early on the side of NP. And the Darkseer ban was just another one where they just don't want to be versing versus Darkseer because it's just annoying. It's a mech carrier. And then the Lifestealer ban, so the Chen.
I was about to say they're gonna pick Shadow Fiend last if it isn't banned out now. But now it's banned out.
So they did ban Shadow Fiend.
Which hero is good against Queen of Pain in lane? Without any help?
Most heroes. Actually, not a lot of melee heroes. I think even Juggernaut struggles up against it, depending on whether or not you want to commit your Blade Fury to avoiding.
Can you get TA again?
The Shadow Strike. TA is
decent. It's not actually Quap is. They both fare off pretty well if you are very good at playing the Queen of Pain. I think in a pink disadvantage, I wouldn't want to play the matchup.
Is it going back to the puck? That is like, I mean, if you have the old school matchup of Invoker TA, then the Queen of Pain puck is the other one, I would imagine.
Yeah, they could still meet. I think they could still go for Invoker. It's a little bit. I mean, that's not a great matchup at all, but it gives them a transition in their lineup, and it gives them mixed damage because right now they're mostly physical, except for the Luna ulti and Lucent Beam.
Yeah, I think most mid heroes can fare up against it pretty well. I think they definitely wanted the Shadow Fiend. Lifestealer is one of those heroes that have no problem at all running in on the Shadow Fiend, just standing because he can then rage once the Shadow Fiend is about to die or tries to ultimate. So that's why they banned that out.
Well, let's see what they're going to go for.
And add to the fact that no one is potentially the best Shadow Fiend player right now.
He's been doing very well with it.
But he's also one of the only players that actually plays it. Together with Baby Knight.
We've seen a slight rise in popularity. I think a few other teams have dabbled in it, but as you were saying, Baby Knight has also played a lot of games on it. It has regained some former glory. Still not the hero it used to be, obviously, but I think it has its merits, especially because there's a lot of these tanky melee lineups that Shadow Fiend, if he's allowed to stay alive and doesn't just play the role of glass cannon, then he can punish them real hard with the minus armor and hitting them before they get into him. And this lineup does just that, right? You wanna deal with the Luna, there's a Slardar in your face, there's Chen creeps everywhere, so you could definitely have made the room to justify the Shadow Fiend.
The one cool thing for NP is that they have a lot of heroes that they're like signature heroes for these players, like SVG's Elder Titan. He's one of I have to say he's one of the best Elder Titans in the world, even though I think people don't know that because in like the Manila qualifiers and I think it was TI qualifiers as well, it got banned versus him every single game because they revealed it too early, and he was dominating the games as a support in that role. MSS's Beastmaster is something that NP's really been highly favoring, and then AUI on that Sven. And like we kind of said, they go for the Invoker. Even though it's not the greatest matchup versus the Queen of Pain, it gives them that well-rounded damage as well as progression into the later games.
Synergy, you know, when pushing down towers, the
Sunstrike on Shadow Demon with Lucent Beam, lots of burst potential.
Just an overall great pick. Again, another synergetic lineup that I think fits their playstyle really well.
Is it going to win them the game?
Easily.
Yeah, Virtus Pro?
I'm going to go with VP as well.
We're all three Virtus Pro again, guys.
Boo.
Maybe NP can prove us wrong.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I wouldn't mind being proven wrong here. Let's hear from our commentators. It's over to ODPixel and Gods.
Hello, welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague casting desk. I'm ODPixel, I'm here with Gods, and we're getting ready to take you through the second game of the first and only series of today. It is, of course, VP versus MP. We're seeing the drafts come through, something a little bit different. I'm excited to see no one Invoker. At the same time, I'm also very excited to see how Envy's Queen of Pain matches up this game.
Yeah, it was interesting to see it first to pick. That was the big kind of question mark as far as some of the panel's thoughts on the drafts. It's a hero that just isn't really considered a top mid these days.
No.
And it's not picked up very often for a reason, but MP say, look, we think it can work in the first two. Maybe just kind of to throw off VP a bit, like you see a Quap running, what do we want to do against this? It's a good hero to get to the backlines, which is where you catch a Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's just been wreaking havoc in all these games, so maybe that's kind of part of their mindset in picking the hero. It's like, okay, we can get to the Shadow Demon, silence him potentially with an Orchid, and then have our way. The mid lane matchup is pretty alright against the Invoker as well, so more scared about how they deal with VP pushing as 5. You've got the Chen, the SD Luna, Invoker. If it's an Exo Invoker, you've got lots of firepower from the Forward Spirits, and you just kind of group up and fight very effectively there. So it should be a tough game for NP based on what I'm seeing from the draft.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if, as well, in the mid lane, do you think we'll see much of a similar performance in terms of the difference between the mid laners as in game one, or should this one arguably be closer? Is it easier for Envy to keep on par with no one this game?
Definitely easier. There's no Ogre roaming around, and it's just straight up a better matchup, so should theoretically be better. Who's the support for NP? 1437 is going to be
I can't quite remember. But well, for you guys and girls at home, we have just got to pause at the moment, so don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. It's just a few minutes has been called for. And then we'll be able to kick it off and get on with this. But yeah, it certainly feels like VP, getting the little Chen and stuff, as you said, whether MP are going to be able to deal with those rotations is going to be very interesting to see. Of course, as Fob was saying, the fact that MP have got SVG on the Elder Titan, something that he's very, very good with. Again, I think, the question obviously just comes down to how well these guys can perform. Playing on obviously not the greatest of pings. As mentioned, Aoi, I guess he's playing from the US West, is he? He's
Vancouver, which is Canada West. Yeah.
So very much. It's got to be at least 200 ping for him.
Yeah, and I think they have a team house. I don't know if they're all at the team house.
That's
Toronto
true.
or
Yeah,
something.
sorry.
I think it's in.
Yes. Okay. Yes, in Toronto.
It's like central-ish Canada. Okay. I think. I don't know geography.
But
somewhere.
No,
in Canada. It's a big
you're right.
place.
Of course, at the moment they're all at the house.
Yeah. So MP, looking to try and qualify for that LAN at DreamHack Winter, but it's got a tough road for them. They've started off today, I believe, with a negative record already. They were 3-5. So
they've got already a few appearances coming up before the major as well. Of course, they are the replacement team for DC. Pulling out of the Northern Beat, so you're going to see that not this weekend, next weekend. They're planning that one. They're also part of the summit, aren't they? They qualified. They qualified for the summit. So they have got a lot of lands coming up. And of course, if they could get themselves over to DreamHack land as well, then they're going to have a lot of good times that they can try and prove themselves and get some good practice in. Going into the major, because obviously we saw them with a strong performance in the NA qualifiers. Still, the question is going to be how well they can stand up to teams from around the world. Obviously, it's a little bit hard to take away too much from these because there's the ping coming into play at the moment. But when they get themselves over to lands, then we're going to start to see if MP can indeed take down some of the teams from other parts of the world.
And they look like a team that just kind of can benefit a lot from that LAN experience. It's not like they're inexperienced as far as players go.
In terms of individual players,
been around a lot, but as a team, it's like you're a new team. The NA scene perhaps not as competitive as some other scenes, so just getting that chance to verse all those Tier 1 teams on a more regular basis, that's part of the reason they're playing the ASUS ROG DreamLeague, even though they're at a ping disadvantage. They're definitely on par with some of these European squads.
Absolutely. We've seen them. They're taking games off some of European squads.
But the LAN experience is like that next big thing, which will really help get this team to the next level. So it's obviously very good for them, and fortunate that they are going to all these LANs before the major, so they have some practice, some lead up.
And especially as we were talking earlier, being single limb, you want to have as much practice as you can get. So you know the matchups with as many different teams as possible, so that when you do come up against them in that knockout stages in the singular limbs, it's like, all right, we played these guys before, we know what to expect. You've got a bit better of a plan. Looks like we're ready to go. Aoi calling for the G. Yep. He says thanks. Well, no problem, Aoi.
The Ogre pick was on MP side this game, so that's going to be 1437 heroes, or Rose as he's called these days.
Let's get ourselves back in.
And he'll be helping out Envy. So as far as that mid 1v1 matchup goes, it gets a little bit easier when the Ogre's on your side, not the opponent's.
SVG is going to do his best to punch Solo away. Solo came across. And indeed, in terms of 1-4-3-7's positioning, do you think we will see him sit mid with Envy at the start, try and get that bit of a beneficial start against no one's Invoker? Or?
Not necessarily. No. The safe lane doesn't have the best support and protection for the AUI Sven, and that's where he may look to provide that support himself, depending on where SVG looks to go. SVG with the Windlace will have the Astral Spirit. He'll be able to, if he hits multiple heroes with this early on, he'll be that pesky, harassing ET. You get like 380 movement speed with plus 30-40 damage, and very, very good. But unfortunately for NP, their ward got spotted being planted on the cliff, as that will be quickly de-warded by the Invoker, giving him a nice little boost.
Yeah, with that money as well, actually, no one just gets straight up a salve, already delivered out to him.
Definitely handy to have, as NP look to contest this top rune, potentially? With ET, they're very strong in this level 1 fight.
Yeah, that looks like to be enough to throw out the Spirit.
Invoker says no thank you, and no runes for VP. All right.
NP getting themselves the double, and in fact, in return, taking down the Waters World Envy with a nice little bit of a cash bonus into the lane, and we'll see how this does end up panning out. Lil, it's all going to be down to how well he can pull out the rotations on his Chen. Of course, if the qualifiers are anything to go by for the Boston Major, we know this man can pull out quite a remarkable Chen performance. It's just going to be interesting to see how much he could do against Envy in terms of helping no one out in the mid lane, and whether he can crush this Quops opening.
handy start. Yeah, we'll see where Lil looks to go. Quap is elusive to those Chen ganks with the blink.
Yeah.
It is quite hard to gank that mid lane unless you get like a really good cold snap with an ensnare or a centaur stun or something. But he will find a wild wing early on, which means he can play the farming style of Chen with the stacks. Something we may look to see. I like that SVG staying this offlane. He's doing just some pesky right-click damage to Ramses and trying to prevent him from getting that good early farm that we saw Ramses just really walk away with last game on the jug.
And this bottom lane for Pasha, I mean, how much you feel the Slardr's going to be able to get out of this against the Sven and Ogre duo lane?
Should be able to get some alright experience. Ogre's trying to do what he can to zone him out, but the level 1 sprint means that he doesn't have the movement speed to keep up with him, and Pasha just wants to try and leech XP out of this lane for now. Won't be able to get too much farm, I imagine.
Mid lane already looking a lot better for Envy this time round, as he sits 5 for 3 against the 4 for 4. So not falling behind in the first couple of waves like we saw him do so in the last game's matchup. But I guess, as you said, expected from the draft with this hero matchup. Envy gonna have a lot better time than when he was playing the Invoker up against the TA.
Yeah. So for now, it is just going to be the farming jungle Chen. He used the Wild Wing early on to tornado down the camp. He's got some more stacks that he's trying to create, so it could just be a very greedy Chen style if Lil wants to, although with that said, he's suiciding his Wild Wing now to find a new creep for himself, and it will be the Say tier.
Top lane, Ramses trying to find as much as he can from this side pool. In fact, well, with this disruption, I'm just going to move in, get a few right clicks down with the elusive beam, bringing SVG incredibly low. The illusions as well beating into him, and that'll be first blood. They will find the kill in return. MSS chucking out the axes, and may just get himself a double, and he does. MSS. Wow, they'll be fine with that one. MP may have given away first blood, but hitting back, getting a double kill on MSS. Solo XP as well.
Yeah, nice play from MP, just baiting them in, knowing that they have the strong Beastmaster. Going for the early point in Wild Axes. We're seeing this more from most Beastmaster players now, getting that 1-1-1 build. And potentially should have been first blood for MP. He had to animation cancel the axes there to make sure he landed them. I think that was probably also like the just concerns over the ping, whether he'd miss it because of the lane seed, but they still get the 2 kills out of the lane. So either way, it's still a win for NP with the Beastmaster coming out on top.
Yeah, Lil still sticking with the farm game at the moment. Not yet to make those rotations. And the question is, when he does, where do you imagine we'll see him go? Will he look towards this top lane to try and crush this duo that MP have got going?
Yeah, top lane sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yep.
He takes out a Hawk right away, so he now knows it's probably safe to smoke if he wants to, and smoke towards either mid or top is definitely a wise call, but SVG could be in a good position to scout this one out and ruin his day. Both players very close to one another. Oh, and he blinked
into this.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed, with the Sunstrike as well, VP.
That's actually a really sick bait by Lil.
Yep.
He's just camping there, smoked up on the high ground, expecting Envy to blink for that regen rune. And Envy doesn't really make a major mistake there. He sees no one. He thinks he's safe.
And top lane as well. I mean, so that doesn't
nice
end up
deny.
going down. But yeah, indeed, the thing being the VP get the kill onto MSS. So
it's going to even out that top lane a bit.
Yeah. Big kills going back the way of VP. CS-wise in the mid lane, no one. 18 for 12 against Envy's 11 for 8. So he is coming out on top. Not as massively so as in game 1. As Envy's still getting the XP. And in fact, got a bit of backup sitting in the mid lane as well. So we'll see if they're able to actually look to do something about no one. They're actually going to smoke up SVG on 1437. And we'll see where they make the movement towards.
Yeah, the creep wave is pushing very close to no one's tower, so it is pretty safe and secure for him to farm there. To go for a bit of a dive top lane, they've gone in instead.
And popping the fairy fires here, MSS with the stick charge as well, trying to keep himself alive, but Rams is just diving in behind the tower, cutting him down. Mid lane, a lot of pressure being put onto no one. Could be in a lot of trouble here, ticking down low with the Shadow Poison, pops the fairy fire. Can he actually survive this one?
Looks like he's going to cold snap soon. They can cold snap under the tower.
Envy's going to jump forward, and indeed it will lay down the cold snap. And in fact, with the tower coming through as well, Envy is going to lose his life. Pasha finds the crush onto 1437. I mean, he's an ogre. He's fairly tanky. He's not tanky enough.
Questionable ward as well when you're in plain sight there. I guess you're thinking Slider's not going to click to see you planted, but the Invoker who was dead spammed his ping like ping, ping, ping. There's a ward there. So, rough times. And also importantly, VP have early on blocked the Ancient stacking from NP. They have the Sentry and the Observer Ward both there to prevent AUI from getting that big farm advantage early on.
Now, well, where this... It certainly doesn't seem as bad as the opening for MP in Game 1, but it still is them on the,
Yeah, still
the
not great.
fallback. Yep. Bottom lane, throwing out the Stormhammer onto Pasha, but Pasha's fine.
Kind of asked how Pasha's going to do. He's got 15 CS and a kill now to his name. He's had a fantastic time, approaching level 6 already. But he's getting gone on here. Doesn't have a chance to get a crush off, so they do kill him.
Nicely
Well,
chain locked up there with the stuns from 1437 and Aoi.
nicely jinxed, I guess. He was doing fine until that happened, but he's still doing all right. That death isn't going to set him back by any means. It just gives that Aoi a nice little boost to his economy. He's well ahead of the Luna right now in terms of farm.
Envy just about to hit 6, so we'll see if he's able to make some kind of big play with the Sonic Wave. Back up towards top, Ramsey's just putting the pressure on the tower. Going to bring the creep army in as well, so they'll look to try and find themselves a tier 1 here, VP. And at the moment, looks like MP will react, and this will be where Envy may try and get something big done with his first rotation.
Still no
towards the
Sonic
top lane.
Wave though.
And Lil actually walking back into it. Lil's got to be careful. Okay, they've got the Eclipse. That's why he's feeling confident. They're going to be able to burst down MSS and just turn back towards the town. With this rotation from MP, they're just not getting anything done. They've got to be careful as well. Backups coming in from VP. Pasha
Envy
looking
blinked
close
in.
in. Envy, indeed, he's blinked straight
Jackie.
into this one. A double kill for Lil as they take the tower. They take the lives of MP.
Yeah. I think VP weren't really going for Envy because they're like, oh, he's got Blink, let's not waste our time chasing him. They suddenly blinked in and aggressively, and you're like, wait, what? What's he doing? Jackie, please. And VP setting up mid now as well.
Aoi surrounded, he's got the war cry, but the
Should
cold
be
snap
enough.
down, throws the Stormhammer back onto Invoker. TP coming through as well from SVG, but no one's fine. Back out of range, still has the backup as Solo. And 8-4, 8 minutes in, VP getting a good rhythm to them at the moment. And yeah, a few misplays for Jackie. Has to be careful with these blinks, because as soon as he's out of position, VP very quick to punish the misplay.
Lilla's going straight into this Aghanims build that he loves to do on Chen as well, so he's more than halfway there already. He's very farmed, and that is a problem once VP get the Ags online and to start 5-manning down towers. They don't need a mech necessarily. They've got this SD Luna with Forge Spirits, Chen Creeps, throw in a Granite Golem, throw in one of the Black Dragons, and towers will crumble very fast. Black Dragons give you a nice little armor aura against the Sven. Granite Golems can just boost up all your HP, and life is good for VP if they can reach that point unscathed.
Pasha, and he's just coming back down towards the bottom. SVG's on his own.
There hasn't been a single Ancient stack for Aoi yet on this Sven
No.
of the Ancient, so that's another big concern for NP, is that they're not getting that farming value out of the Sven. He's top of the net worth now, and that's like potentially going to remain the same, but you really want your Sven to start accelerating and skyrocketing in terms of net worth when you have that Helm of the Dominator with the Ancients.
I'm going to see Jackie and MSS head down towards the bottom lane. They have a Roar, they have a Sonic Wave. Pasha could be in a lot of trouble here. He's going to immediately start to sprint back. Envy jumps forward, but Pasha's going to be fine. Good read of the map, good read of the situation, just getting himself the hell out of there when he's aware that a rotation could indeed be coming in for him on that bottom lane.
Yeah. Envy, a bit ambitious looking in with the Shadow Strike. No, he's not going to, of course, go down there and start scare out Slider, but kind of revealing the fact that MP are grouping up to go for this 5-man push, and now VP have time to react, look for a trade elsewhere on the map, or even look to Seb to defend. Although for now, no one down bottom to defend this lane. Slider is still in the neighborhood, but may just be a tower that NP let go as they look for a trade somewhere like the middle lane.
Obviously, tier 1 going down on the bottom lane. And no response from VP. They will just let this one go. They will send the TP into the tier 2 as they bring over the Shadow Demon. The tower's down and already MP out of there, making sure that VP don't get the trade mid. Holding back the creep wave as no one did start to force it in a little bit. But I mean, what's the play here for MP? I mean, the Queen of Pain, a hero that we just don't see a lot. What's MP looking to do? Does he need to find the kills?
Yeah, they want to find pick-off, really. The Beastmaster, Queen of Pain is the duo that can find kills very easily. And I think using some smokes at this stage of the game would do them some good.
Envy up top. Now with the help of Aoi, they should be able to find Ramses, and they do. Big
Meanwhile,
kill.
bottom lane, they went for a kill aggressively, but a TP out will save the Ogre, and a nice 3-hero stomp from the ET
That's big.
allowed him to get out.
Getting the Luna kill and
Yeah.
losing nothing in response. MP starting to pull the players together. And as we were saying earlier, one of the strengths of MP's side with Envy, making those shot calls, getting the objectives done, and in the right order and right timing as well, where VP kind of being played around here by the side of MP, and it's working out for the time being very nicely. Aoi is at the top of the board. He is ahead of the Invoker and the Luna by a clear 1,000. So it's a much cleaner start here for Aoi this game on the Sven.
Yeah. We've got the Ancients at least unblocked now, so they can start stacking that up. So they can start looking to go for. There's a huge stack on the Dire Ancients, but that doesn't look like it's going to be something that Aoi can find or take because Luna's already there. 4 points in the glaives, all you really need. Ramses is on the high ground, and he should be able to farm this over time.
Yeah, and that is going to start to close that gap between him and Aoi. And it's also, yeah, little, 750 gold. He'll have Aghanims done.
Yep.
But they might need to do so in mid lane, because MP, they're coming together. They're starting to wrap around behind the tower potentially as well. Aoi laying down the Stormhammer. Amplifies out onto him. He's playing it a little bit cautiously. Does have the God Strength, but very aware that VP are coming in, looking to hold this tier 1. Aoi just popping the war cry, backing off. It's still behind them. You've got to look.
Envy.
Yeah, they've still got this wraparound, and Envy indeed just tickling around with Lil with the Shadow Strike.
VP are just not quite ready to fight. They don't have the Eclipse up just yet. They don't have the Chain Aghanim Scepter. They're just short a couple of key items, but they do de-ward NP, so without that behind tier 1 vision, I imagine NP will be less inclined to push, and it seems like they want to just go play aggressive, push out some of these other lanes, and avoid the VP 5-man for now. That VP 5-man is going to cause them a lot of problems as Aoi needs to get that Echo Saber plus Blink timing up as soon as possible. And this bottom lane is a lane he does not want to be.
And immediately going for the TP out. He's going to get another crush. Ooh, no, not quite in time.
Well, Lil is 500 from Ags. That is going to be problematic.
Thing is, of course, MP with MSS Beastmaster, they've got a lot of push on their lineup as well, so they can take tower trades against the pushing power of Chen and his army. VP, though, with the army, they'll move into the Roche pit, and with Amplify, they'll be able to make short work of this. And in fact, at a pace that it looks like there's not going to be the potential for MP to challenge this. VP are going to get away with Roche for free.
Yep, absolutely. Nothing around for the MP side to try and contest it. They are finding the trades at top lane. They took the tier 1 a bit earlier, now they're working on the tier 2. But doesn't seem VP want to give this one up.
Looking for the setup onto Envy.
Ooh, couldn't get the cold snap off in time. Normally a player you'd expect to be able to be fast on the fingers there, but no one wanted to get the Sunstrike and the cold snap.
And MP able to get themselves out and away, and in fact, losing the courier as well during that momentum.
And may just have to walk back home to finish his Ags, but not a big deal for him. Doesn't really want to get this Ancient Thunderhide anyways, maybe? Oh no, he's leaving it there. He's saying, I want to leave it. That's going to be his first creep. Does have that nice little frenzy spell. Or is he leaving? No, they're going to kill it. Ramses comes over to take it. So he's ideally looking for the dragon or the granite golem. Dragon's kind of maybe slightly preferred just because you can split push with it a bit and push out multiple lanes at once. But ideal scenario is you hit level 11 and get one of each.
All things said and done, certainly looking a lot better for MP here in game 2. Aoi, 1500 towards the Blink Dagger on top of the Echo and the help of the Dominator. The VP coming in with a push on mid. Fortification will come out, of course. The tier 1 will almost certainly fall. The question is if they can punish this. MP is grouped up.
It's SD Luna clock, you know. Solo's got his level 7. We're not even seeing Shadow Demons max out Shadow Poison anymore. That's kind of the sad, dark days we've entered into the 6.78J or whatever patch we're on, you know. Shadow Demon's just maxing disruption. Good fun stuff. Please, ASUS ROG, give us a new patch already. Ugh. No, this is, I mean, for VP, it's very strategic right now. They're playing the 5-man game. They're able to push down towers and objectives very well. Envy may actually get, well, I say may get picked at top. No one actually reveals himself on the creep wave there. Had the Slider blink rotating in, so if Slider had actually caught Envy, that very likely would have been a kill. I'm not gonna find him.
I mean, Envy at the moment, he's sitting up there.
He's gonna creep skip, yeah. This is such an Envy play. He does this all the time. He's been pinging Sliders. Oh no, it's Chen, sorry, very close. Chen has an ensnare. Doesn't look like he'll find him in time. Blink TP, that's classic Envy right there. I feel like I've seen that exact play from that exact spot, like probably a good 10 times from him.
And meanwhile, down bottom, you can see
Ramses is deep by himself here.
a bit of a hunt onto Ramses.
Ancient comes down there, help him out, and not sure much will be done.
You know, Blink's now done on Aoi, so MP, if they were to group up and fight, get that initiation, follow it through with a Sonic Wave from Envy, they've got a lot of potential for the team fights against VP. We'll just see if they're able to find it and look for it. Still, as the farm goes on, no one. Keeping himself up there, 8.1k on top of the Midas, 2.6k gold. I imagine, I mean, he's still keeping the brown boots for the moment. Do you think he gets does he get the bots or does he get something else before he upgrades them?
Possibly straight Ags.
Yeah, straight Ags.
It's, if you're 5-manning with your team, and the bots is nice because you can push another lane out and perhaps farm a little faster, but the Ags is like, if you're ready to team fight and push high ground now, the Ags is better. There's a fight going on. No one needs to get here.
Oh, Solo could be in trouble with the ball slow. He has to be careful. Jumping from Pashes. The stun onto 2. Aoi looking for Ramses. And a goal comes through, but it doesn't matter. They've lost the Luna. They managed to take down MSS in return. A good sleep onto no one holding him back. Aoi diving in for the chain kill. Finds a second. MP taking the fight at the moment, 2 for 1. And they're not done yet. Moving forward for more. Envy looking towards Solo. Aoi. He's going to have the blink again in a few seconds. Solo held in place again, SVG with these stomps. And MP taking the team fight 3 for 1. Very nicely done indeed. Aoi with the first use of the blink dagger. And they find that team fight that they were hoping for.
Yeah, it's just that. Having the blink dagger is such a... That's Sven's really his first big peak when he's able to initiate on whichever hero he wants. Whether it's take out the SD in the back lines or in this case burst down the Luna and prevent any spells from prevent the Eclipse from really doing what it's meant to do. She dies so fast that it doesn't actually get the kills that he was looking for.
Yeah, really, really nicely done. Aoi and Envy, just as you see, just focusing Ramses
Aoi,
and then clearing out the rest of them.
Back in real time, he's getting found by the Slider.
He's got the Storm Hammer.
Oh, that Centaur. What? He dominated that Centaur for that extra stun. That potentially saves his life. I believe Slider actually catches up with a blink stun there. That was a sick play.
Neat little plays indeed, Aoi. Not one to be held back by the ping issues. Still coming out with the plays to keep himself on top. And MP looking a lot hotter here in this game too. VP still have a lot of pushing power. When given the chance, they will hammer down onto your towers. But MP are finding the trades, they're finding the team fights, and Envy on the mid lane pushing in on the Quap. It's consistently finding the space, and he has nearly got that Orchid done. Nearly ready for the next team fight.
Yeah, that's very helpful when you want to initiate on Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
Particularly, Luna's going to most likely have a Manta style in fairly good time, so less useful against her. But even like a Slider, if you're fast on your fingers and you get the Orchid when he blinks in, suddenly he's not getting that crush off, although, again, it kind of goes back to that point. Very hard to do that when playing on that slight ping that NPR on, but all in all, this has been a much better team game from MP. They've team fought well, they've used the ET to great effect, and definitely a big step up from what we saw in Game 1 from the North American squad.
I mean, as this game goes on, though, the thing is, we're kind of the queen of pain. This is a hero that surely it's going to fall off eventually. So surely the games are more of a timer for MP, would you say, in comparison to what VP have with the Invoker and the Luna?
Yeah, it's slightly better. Like if you go super, I look at VP's lamp and think it goes a bit better to the late game.
Yeah.
Sven will get farmed very fast though. That's the thing.
You've
I
always
think
got the
Sven, when he hits that 6-slotted timer, is like that's when you got to go if you're NP. And with Beastmaster scaling well, with Quap, decently scaling hero. I think MP could have options. MP, uh-oh, Envy. He just gets solo killed top.
Yeah, no one
That was
able to
just,
outplay him.
he just walked in with Cold Snap. Cold Snap Alacrity. Boom, boom, easy kill. And Envy, unfortunately, couldn't blink away. Yeah. Queen of Pain going down. It's a bit of a tough kill for NP. It's not a hero they want to see getting picked off. And ideally, they want to try to find a trade somewhere on the map. But for now, VP are kind of grouped up near this bottom lane. And if fight breaks out, Invoker can TP in using those travels. If anything, they're quite happy with just the Chen creep pushing this top lane. They've got the Ancient Black Dragon up there.
Yeah.
Chen has hit level 11, so ideally he wants to find that Granite Golem now. He's got one dragon, don't really want a second one. You're typically... Actually, yeah, he's got the Granite Golem at mid, so yeah, he's got the Granite Golem now. You can see there, I like how he groups his creep. The Ancient Ancient Black Dragon you just want to send off by itself, push one lane, and then have all your other creeps grouped together, since those three kind of complement each other. Those are the auras. You've got 3 auras together, and those are the ones that you maybe want to have with your team while you split push with the Black Dragon. I say that AUI is looking to hunt down the Black Dragon.
But I mean, Lil just, you know, kind of teasing around with Bowie because he just brings the creep out of there.
Very easy save. Does mean it's still a necessary play for Sven because now the dragon has to go back to Fountain to heal, and it slows down the Chen split push. But for NP, they need to probably go for a move soon. They do not want to let VP get another Roche. I imagine that's what VP are probably not really rushing things for right now. They're waiting to get an Aegis on presumably Luna. Last Aegis went to Invoker. I feel at this stage you're thinking about pushing high ground, and that's Luna's role. So giving Luna the Aegis for the high ground push makes a bit more sense to me.
I mean, so VP now at this stage of the game, are they just looking to sit back and farm up a certain item? Is there something that they're missing for these team fights?
I really think it's not much more than the Aegis.
Yep.
They've got... I like that Chen goes for the Vlads before the Greaves. This is a nice item against the ET. The natural order is kind of problematic, especially for pushing. Luna's a agi carry, so you lose all that armor when you're pushing, but Vlads at least gives you a little bit to make up for that. So he actually goes for the Vlads before he even picks up the mech. But even things like a casual buckler could be really good for VP, just getting whatever you can to boost up the armor for your push.
MP with a smoke.
Yeah, they're hoping for a fast Roche respawn, or at least finding a pick-off here.
Oh, Solo as well from the low ground has dispelled it on MSS. Look at the Hawks out. Solo already backing away, so they won't catch him out. And the rest of VP, of course, at the moment, 3 of them sitting towards the top, a little down at the bottom lane on his own, actually. Just hiding in the trees. And now he'll TP back to the mid lane.
That's where VP have this strategic advantage because they can just push out lanes using the Chen creeps.
Yep.
Well, they're doing that in 2 lanes. Chen's pushing both top and bottom lane with his creeps, and that in itself is just such a strategic advantage to have. But Roche's respawn fast, and NP are in the pit.
Oh, and they could take it down at such a rate with God's strength on Owie.
That's a nice sneak. This makes that high ground push that little bit more difficult for VP if they don't have Aegis.
Yeah, VP, they were heading over. If they had got wind of that earlier, they would have loved to contest that. But MP just taking it too darn quickly.
They still want to fight. They're chasing. Considering going for a fight.
And MP are out of that. I mean, it really is looking impressive for MP this game. VP still with a lot of power, but MP just coming out on top with the most recent kind of plays. Owie with the BKB done as such, he's going to be quite a beast to deal with in the next fight when VP go head on with MP.
Yeah. MP have definitely strategically bested VP in some different areas. They've made some really good calls with their team fight selection when they bursted down the Luna at that previous fight. Invoker had the Aegis, so they burst down the Luna, don't let her get her Eclipse off, and that Roche right there, very smart from NP, so it's been some calculated play. Envy, again, getting found by the Invoker. This time around, there's an Aegis on Envy. He's being chased, though. Ooh, doesn't land. If that Sunstrike lands, a potential kill with a Lucent Beam. He's been a rough Jack. He's going to go for another creep wave, knowing Jackie.
Yeah, there's
blink around.
No intention for him to TP back at the moment, it doesn't seem.
Yeah, it's on cooldown, but knowing Envy, he'll try to get one more creep wave and also get out. Slider's ready for it, though. Pasha's almost expecting it.
Yeah, I think Envy realizes he can't get away with that play again.
Dude, Pasha knows Envy so well. Like when he's sitting in these trees, he's just expecting Envy to like blink out on this creep wave right now. He's like, all right, where are you, Jackie? Come on, hit that creep wave. I know you want to.
Yeah, but Envy a step ahead this time. You know, he knows that if he does that again, it's not gonna fly.
Oh, I was actually thinking Envy was going to do one of his classic Envy plays.
He
there.
won't do it again.
Solo mid. What?
Yeah, the Ignite. It's going to bring him further, though. He should be all right. Actually looks to try and focus Owie. Owie pots the BKB, moving on to no one. Drops a pot, though. No one runs away, and that's the BKB charge and God Strength down for Owie. And they weren't able to find a good fight with it, so VP may look to punish this.
Yeah, if anything, I think their call may be just to press forward. They steal a Chen. Chen steals a Hawk, so they've now got the vision for themselves. I was about to say that Hawk's going to die very fast, but then, yeah, of course, Chen giving it that bonus HP means that's one of the tankiest Hawks you've ever seen, but only has 20 seconds left on it.
Coming across towards the mid lane as well. VP pushing
Tough
down.
stuff.
And it really was just a case of no God Strength, no BKB. They know that MP are unlikely to retaliate. So just taking what objective they could off the map from them. That's going to be all the outer towers gone now for the side of MP.
They don't try to go for a high ground or anything, perhaps just thinking they're not quite in fighting shape for a Pasha. Ooh, gets very close to now we're there, but not really ready to go. No BKB on Ramses yet. And also there's still the Aegis on the Queen of Pain, so it's a bit dangerous to push. And just the hero composition, the ET, very difficult to push into. So I imagine they're waiting for a couple more items. They are going to be going for the Ags on Shadow Demon.
I was going to say, they could just wait for that at this stage. At this pace of game.
It could just cripple the Sven. No, getting constantly purged in a fight and losing your cleave. Yeah, good luck dealing damage, AUI. This is not going to be a fun late game for him against an SD Ags, and that's where the Quapple has to find that SD and just try blow him up using the Orchid. Even it's worth committing a Sonic Wave to solo kill the Shadow Demon at this point.
Bottom lane, no one.
On the high ground.
Yeah, he spots it in for the rat, but the Forge Spirit is out. And in fact, the rest of the team might just do their best to try and keep MP involved. Ramses with the BKB comes in, takes down. Oh no, it's actually them that they've lost to. Ramses, can he actually find anything? He's found the Beast Body with the Earth Splitter coming through. Owie's chopped him down, and they've lost 3. They're continuing to try and wrap, but VP are paying heavily for this in the mid lane as MP take down 4. I mean, no one got the tier 3, but you got to ask yourself, was that worth it? I mean, it's an Invoker out of the fight, but that means VP just lose straight up in that team fight, losing 4 heroes.
That sure
MP
doesn't
just
feel worth
crushing
it.
them.
No one. Does he really want to go back in?
Oh.
He's looking for the kill. That's a gem that's been dropped.
He's looking to style on them.
He's sure as hell doing a good job of it.
He's found what, could he get this? Oh, one more touch that he can with the alacrity. 1 for 3 set. Oh, he's actually going to back off. He's a little scared now. Envy's still hanging around in the neighborhood. In fact, oh, he's down. He's lost the Aegis. Now we coming forward. Can they kill no one? Yeah, BKB popped by
He's got Ghost
Owie.
Walk in 5, though.
He has been silenced with the Orchid. They've got him. So all in all, just a strategical misplays it feels there from VP. They tried to go for the play with no one going for the rat. They lose the team fight mid, and then they end up losing no one down on the bottom lane as well.
Yeah, just some risky shot calling coming out from the VP side and very good calling from NP, taking the fight at mid, knowing that they'd be able to get back in time to deal with the Invoker split push. Yeah, you lose your tier 3 tower.
Look how much money Envy's got.
Yeah, he's not that farmed is the thing. It's more that he hasn't bought anything.
Yeah.
He's only got an Orchid, so you're looking at a 29-minute quap with an Orchid. That's a very poor quap.
But he's got a lot of dollar.
He's just not sure what to buy. When you save up this much money on a hero like Quap, you're thinking, what item is actually going to help me? Do I need...
What does he get? Does he get Hex? Does he get Ags? What's the plan?
If he doesn't know, he's going to decide BKB. I was about to say, you're considering items like BKB, Ags, the Hex, not so much. Shivers, perhaps, just for the dealing, like having the attack speed slow against all the illusions and Invoker. But the BKB is one of the safer options. Shivers is definitely an item I think he wants to get at some point this game, though. Just with all the physical damage coming out from Luna, Slardar, Invoker.
At the moment, VP certainly going to be shaken up by that last series of events. And out on the courier, up it comes for Owie. It's going to be the completed Lincoln Sphere. And I guess this in itself, looking to help you against the Demonic Purge, I guess. Once the BKB's up, but at the same time, you have got the Amplify to pop it.
Yeah, a lot of things pop it. It means it's a very long-range initiation, though, so it's something you'll often use on the Sven before a potential amp. So
that's true. Yeah.
It's close the gap fairly reliable, although it becomes less reliable when SD gets the Aghanim Scepter, has multiple charges that he can use. Even so, you force SD to use an extra Purge on you, it's still a good outcome. He's just not going to have the constant spam of the Purge as easily. This is just an item that Aoi loves to buy on his Sven as well. I'll see it all the time with his Sven.
And MP looking for a fight. Coming through the jungle, jumping from Aoi, gets the storm onto Solo. Solo is going to be fine for the time in with the tornado, holding back MP. Nicely done by no one. It looks like that'll be enough to hold them back for this fight. MP not looking to commit anything more. But VP still sticking around in the Radiant jungle. And Ramses, he is certainly getting there on farm, but still Aoi towering ahead of them at the moment. And Aoi, the real threat in these fights when MP do find VP. Again, Lil, able to take a Hawk. Puts it out. There's the jump in. Pasha finding 1437, and he's out. Down for 45 seconds. A quick kill for the side of VP. Question is, how much can they try and force out of the side of MP when they are man down? He does have buyback, though.
Without God Strings for 30 seconds, AUI's damage output just not quite as scary. Doesn't have to worry about the Purge, but by the time he's got God Strength, Purge will be roughly back up.
And they're going to buy back on 1437. They realize they need to commit for a fight. Ramsey's just going to pop the BKB, commit for the racks. Raw holds him in place, but they've already found the melee. They'll get the range as well with the illusions from the Luna, and VP back off. They've managed to get what they came for. Question is if MP can catch them, but it doesn't look like they can.
Yeah. VP going to fully back off, make all the safe right plays, and leave some illusions behind just for MP to deal with. But a clean Rax claim and Ogre buyback. Not really a big deal that Ogre has to buy back as far as hurting NP, but the Rax loss, that sure as hell hurts them. VP in firm control now. 10k gold lead, can theoretically wait for the next Roshan, something they should have not really let them get the second Aegis on, but VP still have all the tools they need to try and break the high ground come Rosh number 3.
Absolutely. It really is just all down to Aoi and the usages of the Godstrike, as we've seen. You know, VP very smart about choosing to take objectives, push fights when Aoi doesn't have the ultimate online. And each time we've seen them be able to find that opening, it's been very, very profitable for them. As with that damage limitation with no ult, Aoi very much limited in what he can offer and very tentative and doesn't want to jump in and commit. As he knows that they can kine him up, they can take him down still, VP, with the damage that Ramses, Invoker, no one, and of course Pasha can pull out as a Tricor.
We'll see if MP just try and probably pick their moments now. They need to use smokes to choose their fights, try and contest this next Roche if possible. Envy not going for the Shivers, going for the AC. It's a similar idea where you just want to tank up as much as possible on the Queen of Pain. And you'll have that completed AC fairly soon, actually. That could make a difference in this upcoming fight. I don't really see him saving for buyback. I think the AC is one of those items definitely worth giving up buyback for a key Roche fight here. If you have to buy back, chances are you're going to lose the fight anyways. And realistically, you just want every tool you can have for this upcoming Roche fight. Envy in a much better fighting shape now than he was previous in this game. Has kept up all right in terms of overall farm. And there we go. He's completed it.
I mean, MP, for what feels like pretty much the last 10 minutes or so, they have been kind of sticking to their half of the map. Do you feel with that pickup they're ready to try and go and push the lane down and look to get maybe some more of the VP's tier 2s? Because they've still got 2 tier 2s standing on the side of VP's map.
The toughest thing they're dealing right now is actually the Chen split push. The Chen creeps just keep NP back. If you want to, it's very much NP who want to be pushing out the mid lane, contesting Roshan, pushing up bottom, but anytime they leave this top lane, Chen's Ancient Black Dragon swoops in, pushes out the wave, and gets it onto the high ground. NP will just go for the Rose. They're going to ignore that Chen creep for now. They know it's just a Chen creep. It's not going to take a tier 3 tower or a Rax. It's just going to keep the lane push, so they take another Roche, much to VP's dismay.
He's going to go for the Tornado and the Sunstrike. Is he going to get the kill steal? As they will still find it. They just picked up. Good roll from MSS to set this one up, and that's going to be a Shadow Demon down as well. They need to get back, because they're losing the pace pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, okay.
It's not a trade.
Okay.
This is VP is just like, well, I guess we'll just trade pace.
Oh, they haven't got TPs.
It's Envy.
It's Envy.
I mean,
okay.
the joke's right themselves here.
I mean, they're just about to be mega.
Yeah, you've got an Aegis, but
what the hell's going on?
You've lost your base.
Oh.
Envy's like, oh,
I can't believe it. All right, well, I can, but it's...
I've seen this one before.
All right. Well, suddenly mega creeps. That's what it feels like.
And very much was always kind of the plan with Chen keeping that top lane pushed out. NP couldn't really leave their base easily. They went for a very high-risk play trying to take Roche, but as soon as VP recognized they're in the Roche pit, they're just like, okay, that means they're not defending their base. I thought they were going to pressure top, but it was actually the mid lane where they entered the base through mid with the Chen creep allowing their access at top, and then they take mid, they take top. NP's got no real escape. Envy has he buys Boots of Travel. He's like, okay, guys, don't worry, I'll solve my TP problems, but it's a bit too late. He had a wand instead of the TP scroll, and that definitely hurts. AUI, same thing. AUI hasn't had a slot for TP, so you can't totally fault him. That was like a very much like a team kind of calls, where he's like, look, I'm going to give up my TP slot so I can just have my Lincolns, have my Echo Saber. But
at this point, you know, MP just got to go down a lane and just try and finish it.
Well, Envy's picked off without Aegis. Will survive just barely.
Yeah, he's going to live. He's going to live. He's going to be okay for the time being. Cheese on the floor. Envy gets the cheese inside him. He'll be fine now. He looks to move for the God Strength, but Ramsey spots the BKB. A good roll from MSS holding him back. Patch comes in with a two-man stun. BKB pulled by Envy. Howie falling low. He's trying to man fight up against Ramsey, but Ramsey's doing too much damage at the moment on this Luna with the Skadi. 4 dead. GG is called. And, that fell apart very quickly for MP. It really felt like they were having a much better time this game than in game 1. But then suddenly, mega creeps, and suddenly GG. It was a very MP-esque finish, and I think that's one of the reasons why this team has so much fans, because you never know what to expect in their games. I mean, that was just like blink your eyes and you'd miss the ending of that one.
They're good at going for the high-risk plays when they're behind. I think they are one of the teams who recognizes ways to win a game from behind better than most. They'll do these things which are a bit like baffling. You're like, what are they thinking? But then you're like, well, they're 10, 15k gold behind. They're down to racks. If they let VP get that Roche and then just 5-man push, they're just going to lose the game anyway. So they're like, hey, let's just ignore top, try and get an Aegis, hope that VP don't punish us. Like, if VP aren't on point with TPing in, punishing them for going for Roche, then that could just be a free Aegis cheese snipe. Something that then they just have to regroup, defend, push out their lanes, take a fight with Aegis cheese. Maybe they win it, who knows. Very different game all of a sudden. But VP recognized the NP laps and they strike. They take a rack. They take megas.
I mean, I've not seen a game like that end like that in DreamLeague so far. Yeah. So we always welcome different kind of ways to finish the game. But there we have it. VP take the series 2-0. Game 1 very convincingly. Game 2, MP had a chance, and then it all just went Cloud9 in the last minute or so, and yeah, that was an incredibly rapid finish, just out of nowhere. Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from myself and Gods here. Of course, today we're just in the one series at the ASUS ROG DreamLeague, but don't go anywhere. We'll head back to the panel to hear what Jacob, Fogged, and Sheev have to say about those series. We'll see you about.
Thank you, ODP.